My name is Trent Arnold and we're from Bend, Oregon. So the truck is a 2017 F550. It's a diesel. Started out as a commercial chassis cab. It is rated to haul about 26,000 pounds. We're 15,000 pounds, so we're way underweight. So it actually drives very nice down the highway. The tires, low large, track really well. We're able to cruise down the interstate at about 72 miles an hour with no problem. It does not get great mileage, but nothing fun does. The truck sits on a approximately 6-inch suspension from Fabtech, and it replaced all of the existing components. So we're coilovers in the front and new leaf springs in the back. Tires are 41.5-inch military tires. They actually ride really well. We're able to air them down when we get into loose sand and have yet, knock on wood, to get stuck with anything. We also have a 16,500 pound winch in the front, which we've only used to pull other people out, not had to self-rescue yet. This is actually a new addition to the truck. This is built by a company in Bend, Oregon, where we're from, named McLean Metalworks. And he builds these hammock systems that allow you to plug right into your hitch receiver. And this is an oversized one that they did for us so that the girls can come and sit outside on the front of the truck. And this has proven to be pretty popular so far. As you can tell, I kind of stretch it out a little bit, but they love it. And it's really nice because we're in the desert, there's no trees to hang a hammock on. Kind of nice to be in what feels like a luxury vehicle when we're on long roads, because we like to get to places far away. We had been living in various vehicles and RVs and vans and traveling around the country as well as New Zealand. And we always wanted a vehicle that we could do more with because we were constantly getting a real RV stuck and just places we couldn't get to that we wanted to get to. And we saw this come actually on Expedition Portal for sale, and we had been designing this on paper for about 1.5 years, and we saw someone that had already started a project, and we realized we could jumpstart our project and save a lot of time. So that was the inspiration. We had it in our head, driving around in smaller, less capable vehicles, what we wanted to build. And then we saw this and gave us a chance to do what we kind of dreamed of. So one of the features we really love about the truck is the 48-inch rear door. Our whole family rides motos. And so it's great to be able to get 3 bikes in the back as well as a 4th bike on the hitch carrier. We normally don't carry this ladder, we just have a little step that goes in. But we're able to go all over Oregon, all over Idaho, Utah, and bring 4 bikes with us pretty conveniently. And it's been really fun, especially during COVID, to be able to get out and adventure. What we really love about this is it has a lot of little things that let us live the way we want to. I'm the proud papa of 2 little girls that love to adventure. And we love to kind of go where the road ends, is kind of where the adventure begins. And so for us, it was having all of the off-grid systems that we've added since we bought it. The truck was originally designed to haul motos and surfboards for overnight trips down to Baja. And so we've taken it and made it more kind of Pacific Northwest friendly, where we go in 4 seasons, and it's kind of freezing cold sometimes in May and October. And so we put a lot of systems in that allow us to go off-grid and stay off-grid, which is kind of our favorite way to travel around. We actually lived for 1.5 years in a traditional RV where the girls rode in the back, and it always felt unsafe for us. So one of our key design features in our next vehicle was to do a vehicle like this where everybody can sit up front with proper seat belts, but we have the convenience of a pass-through. So when we get to a campsite, if it's rainy or if we're urban camping in between 2 places, everyone can climb right up into the cabin without coming outside, which has really proved to be a nice feature. There's a gear wall on the inside that allows us to configure it for whatever adventure we're about to do. And they fold down into bunks, so we can have kids' friends come and stay with us as well. We love Utah, even though we live in Oregon. The truck is actually a bit of a challenge sometimes to take on heavily wooded trails because of the height. But in Utah and Arizona, it's kind of the perfect vehicle to get around, in Colorado to some degree. And so anywhere we're out in the desert and we're kind of the only people out there feels pretty good. It's nice just to kind of open the windows and open the door. The door, as you can see, stays open like it is in the back, and so it's kind of inside, outside living. Because we're mostly outside, this is to get us the places we want to go, but it's just big enough to be able to eat dinner if it's too hot or too sandy or blowy or rainy inside. So starting here is our dinette, and as you can see, we have a panel that lifts out right here. It becomes kind of seating for 4. There's a table that's used right now to support the bottom of the bed that we can move out when it's dinner time. We've got a queen-size mattress up top, which is really nice to be able to leave the bed in place. It's nice just to crawl into bed. The truck has 2 fans, one in the bathroom and one above us. We do not have an air conditioner, so we largely stay in places with cooler weather, which is kind of like where we like to be in places, is usually off-season where there's less folks around. We've got a full kitchen with some pretty good conveniences. A little microwave, a stove that we almost never used to cook inside. We really like to cook outside when we're camping. A fridge. We also have an A or B fridge right now because we're on the road for a good stretch. We've got about 40 gallons of fresh water, 25 gallons of gray water. So we're able to go off grid and stay off grid for a while. With the electrical system that we put in, we have 425 watts of solar on the roof, and we almost never have to run an auxiliary charger but when we do, we just run it off of the engine. We don't have a generator. So we can sleep 7 in here. We can sleep more than that if they get really, really comfortable. We can sleep 7 really easily. We've got 2 in the bed up here, 1 where I'm sitting, the bunk that you're sitting on, and then another bunk that folds out of the wall, and then a 2-person tent up on the roof, which is a popular place to sleep when the weather's great. So the inspiration for this a little bit was to take a trip to Alaska before COVID. And so that's the next big great adventure in terms of distance, is we're gonna go to Alaska next summer. This summer we've got some things planned. The girls have camp and some other things, but next summer is gonna be the Alaska, Canada trip that we kind of penciled out pre-pandemic.